La Succursale brews its own beer. Take a seat in the main hall to have a look at the brewery. Let's go over the different stages needed to brew beer at La Succursale. As soon as the malted barley sacks arrive, they are stacked up near the mill. The night before brewing, the malts are weighted and crushed in the mill. Then, purified water is acidified by the addition of a food-grade acid. The water is then brought to the desired temperature. The day of brewing starts by stirring the crushed malts in the hot water inside the lauter tun. Different recipes mean that different brewing temperatures are needed. We then let the mash rest for an hour so that the malt enzymes break down the long starch chains into smaller sugar molecules that can then be assimilated by the yeast. During the mashing process, the brewer sanitizes the path by which will pass the beer wort. He does this by running 80 degrees Celsius water in the circuit for about 20 minutes. When all the sugars have been transformed, we capture the wort by the bottom of the lauter tun and then put it back on the top of the grain. This helps clarify the wort by eliminating particles that get caught in the hull of the malt. The clarified wort is then sent to the boiler. We then spray the grain with very hot water to extract as much sugar as possible, depending on the quantity of wort. The hops are weighted according to each individual recipe. When the wort starts to boil, we add the hops. By raising the wort to a vigorous boil, we extract the hops' bitter flavor, concentrate and sterilize the wort, and evaporate undesirable volatile compounds. Time to empty and clean the lauter tun. During the boiling process, we add hops according to each recipe. The late addition of hops during boiling brings flavor and aroma to the beer. After boiling, we give the wort a stir to concentrate particles in the center. Before pouring the wort in the fermenter, it must be cooled down and giving some oxygen. A density rating tells us the sugar content of the wort. The fermenter is almost filled with the wort. Yeast is mixed in along the way. On average, the fermentation process lasts from 4 to 7 days. The beer's temperature is kept stable and is tested every day. The yeast ferments the sugar in the wort and transforms them into alcohol and carbon dioxide, a gas. In doing so, hundreds of flavors emerge, giving each beer its unique taste. Tests are performed to check the purity of the yeast. This yeast will be used in brewing again more beer. The wort must be absolutely bacteria-free. At the end of the fermentation, we cool the beer down in order to accelerate its clarification and to conserve its freshness. We then collect the yeast at the bottom of the fermenter to use in a subsequent beer. When the beer is ready, the brewer prepares the conditioning tank. The cold beer is sent to the conditioning tank where it will finish its clarification process. It is also at this stage that we add carbon dioxide that will give effervescence to the beer. Each beer barrel is then cleaned. We fill these barrels under pressure to preserve the beer's effervescence. Once ready, these barrels will be connected to taps to serve beer at the bar.